Yeah, that does help. Hello, this is Adam Henderson, and welcome to my Scrabble YouTube channel. I went full screen for this video, and it's because I'm mostly going to be talking about how I prepare for Scrabble Nationals. And so, yeah, let's begin. This is going to be the biggest tournament of my Scrabble career. This is the first time I'm playing in the Premier Division, Division 1, and the Scrabble Players Championship. And I have some thoughts about how I prepare. I'm going to try to do this without explaining too many details or talking about any particular person. At least when I get to the scouting portion of this, the first thing that I do is I play lots of games on Woogles. I'm gonna switch to the default scene for just a moment. So, oops, actually revealed some of my preparation for this video there. And it does take a lot of confidence in yourself to play in the type of strength of this field. And part of playing on Woogles is to get the feeling of like, yes, I belong in Division 1. So you can see my rating is 2026 currently. It was in the low 1900s, and I think I even fell into the 1800s briefly when I had a losing streak there, but I got it back in the 1900s. I'm going to just show some of the most recent games that I played because I feel pretty good about how some of these went. See if I can find one where, like, even this game against Noah Slatkoff, it was a close game, so I'll show you that one. I wanted to show you a game against a human opponent first. So if I analyze this game, you can see that it has me at 1750 rating and has Noah at 1788 rating. I think I played fairly well, even despite it saying I made 3 mistakes. I think that's probably not quite accurate. But you can say I started with making the top play like 3 turns in a row, which is nice. I did spend a lot of time, 4 minutes on these first few plays, and played re-esting again, top play. This is the first mistake, was because I missed that zonal takes the A hook. I played bizonal instead because I wanted to open up the board, but I missed the A zonal hook. So he misses jet lag here. It's interesting. Plushie, I don't think this was a mistake because there's just too many ways for him to have a really high scoring play from what is that? From this spot to the other spot. That would be J2 to N2. There's just too many ways for him to get a huge score here. I considered Plushie. I didn't want to make that play. And yeah, that Verismo play really kind of killed me in this game. So here I was supposed to play Whis. Oh, I didn't know hate took the S. Oh yeah, that would have been better, wouldn't it? So Whis. What would have that led to? Hold on. If I would have played Whis. I can't actually hit enter to see what would have happened, but I'm just curious where AF plays and what the score would have been. I could open this up and Macondo and find out, but I feel like this probably still wouldn't have been good enough to actually win the game. Alright, I just want to show you at least some of the level that I've been playing in before I go back to my rant. So that was one game that I feel like, even though I didn't win the game, I feel like I played at the level that I should be playing at against Noah Slatkoff. And I've been winning against Tasty Bot. So this one, I guess you can say that it's not as impressive because it's Void Challenge and it's not quite the same as playing in double against a human opponent. And that's a fair criticism, but I'm still proud of this game, so I wanted to show you it. Just show you. So I opened with Guy. I played Mackles for 60. Played the top play there. Got my bingo. He plays Tonus's. Let's see here. Yeah, cat was maybe better, but I felt like keeping the cube because there's 3 U's out. Ornately. Then I got one of those U's that I kind of was expecting. I played Squib. Those, especially if there's a lot of U's, like 3 or 4 U's out, if you have the Q early in the game, it's often better just to keep the U and expect to draw a U. I don't know why, but it seems to work well for me most of the time. Where does Xenic play? Oh, okay. Yeah, I felt like the C closed down the bingo spot that I needed, so I didn't want to play that. Yeah, I think Ibex is a better play because Xenix just closed down my bingo spots. And I was very happy to find Detacher. Apparently Ratcheted is also valid. And Detacher was enough to win the game after this play of Sumo for 35. So I was happy with that result. I'll show you the most recent win. I was happy with how I played. The strength of my plays in general in this game. I did computer analysis just because I wanted to see what my rating was for this game, and it was like a 2000 ELO rating. So I was happy to see that. 1.7 mistakes. Some of these I might not even consider mistakes in this one. Yeah, I was very happy with myself that I was able to find horn dogs. I found it relatively quickly as well. And this was the key moment, was I had to find this bingo of Scrobed. His Obscured was also a bingo possibility, which I didn't see. Stipples is a word I didn't know. So yeah, so here I could have played. I saw zithers, but with the Q, the U, the two V's, and the J out, and like five I's, that didn't make me want to play off 6 tiles rather than 4, so I went with the 4 tiles, keeping the Z. And then here, I made the second best play, which I think is just fine. And then, of course, computer plays the 9-letter word of orientate. And then I made my best play of MIDI here. And then just went out with toot. So, I don't know. I was happy to find Horden Dogs and Scrobed. I felt like that really helped me win the game. With Scrobed, I'm not sure if I would have been able to pull the trigger on it, because the only reason I played Scrobed was I had remembered that Scrobe was a 5-letter word, and I wanted to see if it was a verb, and it was. But anyway, I was happy to find it anyway. But yeah, this is the type of thing. I've been studying a lot of and making a lot of flashcards. You can see I'm up to here, I'll go back to full screen. See, I'm up to level 512 here, and I'll just share with you like this. I made this set of cards, so each set is about this thick, so I've got about 512 of these, and I'll just show you some of the words I've been studying. I created this late last night listening to my favorite music. So we've had hydracid, hybridize. I do study 9s. I understand that I'm going to get a fair amount of criticism for studying 9s, but it's something I enjoy. I just mix that in with the rest of the words I study. Highlight, hybridity. I won't show you all of these, but like this one went on my Dream Plays list of Lynn Hayes. Hydatid. So obviously these have a pattern that they're towards the end of the letter H, hypha, and I did a whole bunch. Hypemia, that's a low probability, but then I studied a bunch of hyper words, thrall, hypertonia, and this is just kind of the advanced types of word study that I do. Hyperpnea, hyperopia, hyperopic, hypermeter. Yeah, I study 10s as well. Hypergol. I have some longer words in just for fun. Hypercube, hypercritic. A lot of good hyper words. Hyperesthesia, hyperemia, and then this symbol here, the @ symbol, just says that was added relatively recently. Hyperemia with the second A. Hypertrophic, atrophic, strophic, trophied. Apparently hypertrophied is also good. Hyperacid, hypervigilant probably wouldn't happen in a Scrabble game. Hyperpure, hyperacute. Anyway, you get the point. Like, this is the type of like deep dictionary study that I do, and not all of them are that kind of low prob. I'll just pick a random one from here. This is level 428. And we'll just take a look at some of these words. Flat pack, finans. We got vertisol, which has the exclamation mark because that's one's relatively new. I like to study the ones that are relatively new because a lot of times those are the ones that people will challenge. Tetanol. This one's probably high prob, but it's not a word that I don't study by probability. So even though this one is in a later level, it's one that I hadn't really had in my lexicon word knowledge until recently. Vertisol. It's probably also relatively high probability. We'll just do a few of these before I move on. Helistop, isoplit, pleth, hoplites, and then a whole bunch of ILY words. Catchily. I'm not good at this. Jollity, joltily. Beadily is a word, apparently. Downily. And like some of the players that I'm going to be playing in this tournament have studied and have a relatively solid memory of all the 2s throughs 8s, but those are the very top players. Most of the players are not going to be that solid. Starly, I want to say like Jackson Smiley and Mac Meller are the ones that have the very best word knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comments. Brassily, Lunally, Knobbly, probably takes an S front hook. Expediter, Acidial. Like I said, I like to have a good mix of low prob and high prob, because if I am just studying one or the other, it feels too unnatural to me. So I like to have a good mix. Here's just a 5-letter word. I haven't really studied the 5s yet. I studied the 4s. But I haven't really gotten to the 5s yet. Glace. Anyway, you get the point. I try to study these flashcards whenever I am like maybe I'm the passenger in the car driving somewhere. Whenever I have the ability to study those. So yeah, I do a lot of word study, and I feel like I'm prepared for this first showing and Scrabble Nationals. Today I'm actually going to go out and buy some nicer clothes. I feel like it's a good thing for players in the top division to dress up, especially now that we have this thing going on with all the broadcasted Scrabble and the top boards being broadcasted for everyone on YouTube to see, and we're getting a lot more viewers now, which is great. So yeah, I want to look nice, not just because there's potential that I could be on the top board being videotaped, but also I think it will help me remind myself that I'm trying to take Scrabble more seriously and not just play phonies everywhere. Let's see. The last thing I want to say is Kenji Matsumoto put in his book that at the top level, you definitely want to scout out your opponents, just like you would in any sport like soccer. You have to play against the opponent, since we're all human beings and we all have different strengths and weaknesses. It's not exploitative, it's just part of playing at the highest level. Let me pause for a moment. So this is, I know this is like the most sensitive part, So I will try to be sensitive to, you know, other people's privacy, and sensitive to other people's feelings. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, or make it seem like I'm embarrassing anyone publicly. So what I'll do is, if I pick anybody from the roster, it will be just for demonstrating how the method I use to scout my opponents, and I'm going to try to keep it classy. so let's see if I can do this. One of the things that makes this difficult for me personally is that I have autism and I don't have a lot of like strong relationships within the Scrabble community, so that makes it difficult because I don't really know a lot of these people very well. There are people here that I would consider friends, so maybe I'll just let's pick Andy Hong. So he doesn't have his image here, but that's fine. I consider myself to be on pretty friendly terms with Andy, so maybe he won't. Let's just give a scouting report for Andy, just to show how in general I do this. So what I would do is, there's some one of the things that I like to do personally is I like to see what the head-to-head is, just to give myself an idea of like, okay, is this a problem opponent or not? So let's see what my head-to-head with Andy is. I actually am not entirely sure what the win-loss ratio is. So I'll search my name. I can see that I've played Andy twice, and I have won one game, and I've lost one game. So I'll say, okay, I mean, this is a very small sample size, and you shouldn't probably do this, but I could say something to myself like, okay, well, with Andy, maybe I'm 50-50 and favored, which is actually, given our rating differences, is pretty good odds. So I could say that, okay, I can beat this guy. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to see, does this guy play a lot of phonies? So let's say I don't know whether Andy Hong plays a lot of phonies or not. So what we can do is we can go to annotated games. And a lot of times with like superstars like Andy Hong, there'll be some, there will be a lot of annotated games, but there will even be like YouTube videos. Now, we won't watch the YouTube video, but I finally, when doing this type of scouting, I find the YouTube videos to be particularly interesting to watch, because you can see things about his demeanor, like how he moves his tiles on his racks, all sorts of things like that. And I'm trying to pick a good one here. I'm not sure which one of these would be good, but let's say we probably don't want him to play against somebody else that is known for being a strong player. I think this one against Jonathan Lin might be a good one to see. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so Jonathan plays Rifty and he gets challenged off. So we're looking for two things. We're looking to see what his accuracy of challenging off words is, but we're also looking to see how often this player plays phonies himself. So I just like to go through these quickly. So okay, here's another phony, Spiffery. So I can say, okay, let's say I didn't know anything about Andy Hong, I could look at this game and be like, wow, Spiffery, that's a really weird play. I would never not challenge that in a million years. And I could kind of get a sense of, okay, this person is more likely to play phonies. So that's what I'm mostly mean by scouting. The other thing I wanted to say is that there are certain players that prefer to play closed boards. I'm just going to pick out the most obvious one that's notorious for this. Just to for illustration purposes. Hope he doesn't mind. I think he knows that he plays. I think he knows about his reputation, and so that will be Sid, of course. Oh, wait. There's Morelli dropped out. I guess Sid was signed up, but he dropped out. I guess he was signed up for this tournament, but I guess he's not signed up anymore. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. But anyway, I think if you analyzed enough of Sid's games, you would see that he's a very tactical player. He's most in his element when he's in closed boards. There's other players that are notorious for this, like one in Collins is that's really good at closed board play is Matthew O'Connor. He has his own kind of free online book called How to Play Like Matthew O'Connor. I would definitely recommend taking a look at that and seeing how a master of closed boards plays on closed boards. That's all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to share with you how I prepare for nationals tournaments. And if you have any thoughts on what I said, please put them down in the comments section. I think I got through this without saying anything terrible. And yeah, I'm excited to play in my first Division 1 and NASPA Nationals. And I hope some of you will root for me. Alright, see you in the next video. Take care.